Okay, my first attempt at a fly tying video. We're going to tie the medium-sized Pohorelator in gray. So, starting with a 14 dry fly hook and 6/0 thread in gray. Start your thread, lay down a base, and then we're going to tie in some CDC. I've got two feathers here, medium size, and they're roughly the same size. One's gray, or actually they're both gray, one's dark gray, one's light gray. So roughly align the tips, and then about halfway up the feather, give it 2 loose wraps and pull it through like that, and then bind down the tips. And do it pretty hard because they have the tendency to come undone. Advance the thread forward, and I'm going to get my tying thread out of the way by putting in a half hitch and then move it out of the way. Okay, we're going to wrap these forward. Just grab the tips and don't twist them, so that'll give us some segmentation. And we're going to wrap them forward. When it gets towards the thorax, it gets kind of leggy, which is what we're looking for. And then tie off the ends of our CDC. And snip the excess. Okay, so now we're going to tie in some deer hair. So I've just got some natural colored deer hair. Can't see this, but I'm going to snip it off the hide. Clean it up a bit. And now put it in the stacker. And we're going to tie these in tips forward. Okay, so if you give your bobbin a counterclockwise spin, it's going to help the thread jump backwards instead of forward. Holding the deer hair pretty tight, a couple of loose wraps, and then pull, and then bind it down good, and give that a snip. Okay, so now I'm just going to add a little bit of gray dubbing, and just a really small amount. Basically just color the thread for a couple of inches. Alright, now we're basically just covering up our thread wraps. So a couple of wraps behind the hair, and now we're going to go in front of the hair, but push the hair back with your thumbnail. That sort of flares it out, puts it on top. And then do some wraps in front, and what we're looking for is for the hair to want to stand straight up. I found when they're wet, the hair wants to move forward, so at this point just make sure it's straight up and down. And then advance the thread to the eye and do a whip finish. So 5 or 6 turn whip finish. Slice the thread free. And now what I like to do is with the scissors just barely open, cut away some of the hair in the middle so it kind of looks like 2 wings instead of 1 big wing. Doesn't matter to the trout, probably not. Now all CDC is unique, so sometimes you end up with really long ones, and you could just break those with your fingernails. And then we need a drop of head cement, and we're done. And what I think works about this fly is it's kind of a mess. The CDC kind of looks like the translucent shuck that's they're trying to shed. So that's a 14 in gray. Here's a 16 with white and gray CDC, and then mule deer hair. So my idea there is it's supposed to look like a PMD. And then This is a size 12 3 times long hook with green and gray, and then a darker deer hair, and that's the big green drake pattern that's been so successful this year. That's it.